My dear students, we are discussing about competency-based questions. There are very important competencies called as job-specific competencies. Several sources will determine which competencies are relevant for each opening. The competencies differ from position to positions. Whenever there would be an opening of the job in the company, there are several kinds of competencies. From where you can get the information about the job competencies? The best source of the job competencies information is job description. So you always need to focus on job description whenever you need to know about specific job, specific competencies. You can also gather additional information not only from job description but also from job requisition and postings. Also talk with department heads if you cannot get sufficient information from a job description and job requisitions and job postings. You can talk to the relevant managers. You can discuss the job postings and job specific competencies with the supervisors who are supervising the staff in that particular department. And by this way, you can get in-depth understanding of the openings. So this is the best way. There are multiple sources which you can use to gather information about the job-specific competencies, including job description, job requisition, job postings, supervisors, managers, and the staff themselves. They will especially helpful with the tangible and knowledge-based competencies, particularly those competencies which are very tangible, that are very quantitative, and that are knowledge-based. And incumbents can prove helpful too, since they can probably provide information regarding the behaviors and interpersonal skills needed for the job. Once you have acquired information about the job, isolate job-specific competencies. You have to isolate job-specific competencies. There are two steps. There are two-step procedures to isolate job-specific competencies. First step, make a list of all required competencies. You must know about all the required competencies and you have to make a list in a sequential way. And second, identify each competency according to its category. Because competencies can be tangible, competencies can be knowledge-based, competencies can be interpersonal, competencies can be technical, and competencies can be behavioral. So you have to categorize each and every competency after making a comprehensive list into these four major categories. For example, we have to discuss this by an example. Account representative job-specific competencies can be sales business products, assist in the development and implementation of a sales plan, documents, quote, and sales contract review. And then you have to discuss about report sales performance to the director of sales. Then you may talk about interprets technical documents as they relate to sales and contracts for the company products, is able to effectively interface and communicate with technical and non-technical staff, and has experience in managing and executing product sales. So you have to know about the major job-specific competencies of accounts representative. Now, this is just a list of the job-specific competencies of the account representative. This was only the first step. But in the second step, you have to categorize these job-specific competencies into the four categories. And the categories are tangible, knowledge-based, interpersonal, and behavioral competencies. So I will use the alphabets only. I will use only the short words. For example, T means tangible and /K means knowledge-based. So T and K sells business products. These both of the competencies are tangible and knowledge-based. The second one is again TK, assist in the development and implementation of sales plans. Again, TK is about documents, quote, and sales contract review. So these all three are the tangible and knowledge-based competencies because these are relevant to the account representative. Then again, TK reports sales performance to the director of sales, and TK interprets technical document as they relate to sales and contracts for the company products. And that BI means behavioral and interpersonal competencies, is able to effectively interface and communicate with technical and non-technical staff. Just look here. This competency is relevant to your behavior. This competency is relevant to the interpersonal skills. So you need to communicate with the technical and non-technical staff of your company. And then you will again see TKB, means tangible, knowledge-based, and behavioral, has experience in managing and executing product sales. So this is again a behavioral that you must have experience in managing and executing product sales. And now go back over your list to ensure that all 4 categories are represented. If there are one category of the competency is missing, obviously it means it is not a beautiful job description, it is not a beautiful job specific competencies. So it is very much important to incorporate all 4 major categories of tangible, knowledge-based, behavioral, and interpersonal skills. You will no doubt see a greater emphasis of some competencies over other. In some jobs, my dear student, tangible and knowledge-based competencies are more important than behavioral and interpersonal competencies. But in some jobs, the behavioral and interpersonal competencies are much more important than tangible and knowledge-based competencies. So it varies from position to position. So you are the best judge for which position, which particular category of the job competencies better. Also, where competencies are paired, tangible and knowledge-based skills generally fall category as do behavioral and interpersonal skills. Having isolated job-specific competencies, you are ready to correlate what the job requires with what the applicant has to offer. So 2 main things. One is the job requirement and second is the applicant offer. So information about the applicant can come from several sources. A reference can also be a yield valuable applicant-related information. And if applicant come to you as a result of a staff word of mouth recruiting, the referring employees can provide helpful job-related information. So you need to keep in mind the applicant's information and the job requirement for achieving any particular task in the organization.